Hi, we're 939, HuskyWorks, and we're from Anaheim, California, from Fairmont Preparatory Academy. My name is Ethan,
My name is Elliot.
I'm Nathan.
And I'm Luna.
and we're going to be talking about our portable wheelchair ramp that we designed.
So our co-designer is someone named Jill, which is an alias. She's the wife of a math teacher at school. She was born with severe scoliosis, but paralyzed with surgery at a young age. She likes being in the outdoors, so we thought maybe we could make a database of accessible locations, but it would be a bit hard to gather data for this. We also thought maybe we could make a tool for her to easily secure herself in her car, but there were other problems that the co-designer prioritized.
Jill's main problem and biggest inconvenience, however, is an inconsistent application of accessibility guidelines, specifically curb cuts. It makes her have to turn around and go all the way back to get off the sidewalk at specific points. She has two ramps to help with this thing, but neither of them are very portable. We hope to build a similar, more portable ramp to address this issue.
We aim to make a lightweight portable ramp that can be placed over curbs to allow wheelchairs passage.
So our first iteration had design choices that included 2 rails connected, 3 panels per ramp to fold, and legs to support the middle and which is the weakest section, and the short walls to prevent wheels from sliding up the ramp, and brass McMaster hinges. However, the problems were that we were not meeting the ADA ramp requirement, and the hinges were too weak, and the third panel had no reinforcement from the bending inwards.
Yeah, so that's why in iteration number 2, we increased the modularity by only having 2 panels. We thought this would also give us better strength, and then we removed the legs in order to reduce the weight and also just to see what would happen. And then we changed dimensions to meet ADI guidelines for ramps, which is a 1:8 grade. So we simulated this, and with using different thicknesses, we found that we needed to increase the thickness to 0.187 inches to make it just barely strong enough for a ramp, which also increased the weight to 8.7 pounds total. So this was just not acceptable. So the hinge was still not very strong also. So and removing the legs added a lot of stress, so that was a problem. So that's why in iteration number 3, we changed to stainless steel 304 hinges. We used the triangular leg right here. We brought back the leg along with these 2 legs right here that would lock that position in place. We also added a hinge protector right here in order to stop that bending inwards. And we have 0.1 inches aluminum for the panels now, which is a lot lighter, and 0.187 inches for the other parts, just to add that extra strength.
For the physical prototype, we 3D printed 1:5 scale replicas of our design to show it to our co-designer and help her understand what our design would look like.
Yeah, and for our final iteration, we added a handle. We added these 3D printed bushings to be able to have it rotate easier. We added a hook and pin so that it can close while stored, and we added this lip to have better friction with the ground.
Yeah, all of those were added along with feedback from the co-designer. Going on to our simulation, our number 1 priority here was safety and strength. The total ramp weighs a total of 4.8 pounds, which helps out with our goal of portability. And we simulated a force of 200 pounds for each ramp. So that'll hold up a total of 400 pounds. Our co-designer in her wheelchair weighs 350 pounds. The minimum safety factor here is 1.817, which means that each ramp supports 363 pounds for around 700 pounds total. The maximum deformation when it is placed under that load is 0.009 inches or 0.216 millimeters. On the top, you can see what it'll actually look like, and on the bottom, this is if it will buckle, what it will look like, but it will never get to that point.
And these are some of our demo images, and as you can see here, it's fully open and it can hold 2 people maximum, which is about 300 pounds. Next slide. And this is when our ramp is closed, and as you can see, it can close pretty tightly. But to make it even tighter, to make the gap even smaller, we're gonna weld the hinges so that it can close fully.
And here's a video of us demonstrating the deployment and use, so it can handle dynamic loads.
Our next steps are to widen the ramp to allow better passage for the wheelchair. This is something that we noticed when we're doing in-person testing with the co-designer. Next, we're going to 3D print models to verify it before locking in with our next iteration so that we can make sure that the final iteration is the one that we actually need and one that will work. And finally, we're going to hand over the finished ramp to Joe.
The top 3 things we learned, first of all, we learned how to manufacture sheet metal parts and run simulations, accurate ones, to ensure that they are safe.
We also learned the benefits of having physical models and iterations for our designs.
And we learned the joy of creating something for a person in need, seeing Jill be happy with the product we made. Thank you very much.